You like that? 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 You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Azareye'h Thomas out of Florida State, another cornerback that we're going to evaluate. And so we're going to start to get into the guys. You know, I told you in the last video that, I'm going to be ranking these guys. My rankings will come out at some point during draft season, but we're getting into the group of guys where I feel like they're all really close to each other, and it's going to be hard for me to figure out who I want to have ranked where. So you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to these videos because these guys are all real close. So Azareye'h Thomas here, first play that we got. He's going up against Georgia Tech. And so he really can be, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with this press technique stuff. Because we watch here, look at this. Quiet feet, not stepping outside the frame. Punch with one hand. Doesn't get over his skis, gets attached to the receiver, cut off, right? That's perfect. That's textbook. That is great technique right there, okay? Now, we got this, okay? Hop, right? Don't want to hop. 2 feet off the ground, not good. 2 hands in the air, then jam with the wrong hand. Then have to fight to get on top of the receiver and start grabbing. Then you get into a little shoving match, and you're the one that's getting pushed backwards, right? Not good. Not what I want to see on tape, okay? Now, this one. What do we got? False step. All right, get over your skis. And so it might seem like I'm nitpicking and being really harsh on this stuff, but this is important because when you false step, again, it locks out your hips. So then you feel like, I got to get over the top. I got to get on top of this guy. And then get cut underneath, right? So that's why this stuff is important. And it seems small. But when you go up against, like this guy, I don't know who this is. I haven't evaluated this receiver here. I don't know. It didn't look like an NFL receiver to me when I was watching the film. NFL receivers, you do that stuff, you're going to get smoked, especially against the elite ones, the top ones. So, all right, this one, some more frustration here, okay? We talked about this in the video where we broke down press technique. We went through everything. We talked about the false steps and hands and stuff. But what was the first piece? It's the eyes, okay? And so the eyes are supposed to be down on the receiver's hip. And anyone that plays for me knows this drives me insane when DBs do this. You're in press man coverage. Nothing going on over here is going to help you. You're in man-to-man. You need to have your eyes on this guy down on the hip. Looking over here does not help you. So he's looking over here. So now he's late. The receiver's already made a move by the time his eyes get here. Okay? So now he's got to get out and turn and open the gate. And he's beat down the field. Luckily for him, ball doesn't come out. Doesn't get thrown over there. But again, you do this stuff against NFL receivers. It's not going to end well. Not going to end well. All right, so another thing we're going to see when we get into the next game. Okay, so we're going to watch Duke after this one. The perimeter stuff, run game stuff, screen game stuff, it's really up and down, and the downs are really low. But to be fair, I'll give him, to be fair on this one, this is tight end. So tight end over here, going to be bigger than you, going to be stronger than you. But I would just love for him to be able to set this edge of the defense and not get driven back like this, to hold his ground a little bit more, okay? And so turns into a decent gain. We see the sticks here. It's not a first down, but situational football. This is the last offensive play of the game, and they were trying to get into field goal range. They get into field goal range now because of this, okay? Because he didn't set a hard edge and got driven back. They get into field goal range, and they win the game, right? Georgia Tech wins the game. They chose, and I guarantee you the offensive coordinator, as we go through the film, you'll see, watching the film on this guy, not very good on the perimeter and on the stock blocks, so let's attack him, right? This is what OCs do. So now we're getting into the Duke game, okay? So, two-hand jam here, okay? We talked about this. Two-hand jam. If you're going up against lesser guys, it's going to work. But either way, stones the guy, drives, get on top. Great technique here with the opposite hand, chopping through, tackle him down. Tackle insurance in case he catches the ball. Great play right there at the top. So next one, again, two-hand jam. And so when you get these two-hand jams, like I continue to tell you, it's hard to turn it open. Right? Your hips get locked out. So now separation's created. So what does he do? Grab and hold. Okay? In the NFL, it's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. That is going to be a penalty. That's going to be illegal contact. You get away with it in college, but not at the NFL level. Two-hand jam, again. You get away with this stuff against lesser receivers, but the physicality is on display. So physical, chest-to-chest technique, big corner. Physicality is there. So one thing too, so we're seeing, right, real huge steps outside of the frame, okay? So one of the things that I noticed with him when I started watching him, his base and press is really narrow. So if he can fix that, I think it will help with like the false stepping and things like that. Because, you know, two-hand jams are, like I said in the press video, you know, that's an easier fix. It's much easier to fix that. The feet are much harder. But I think for him, it could be an easy fix because he just needs to widen out his base a little bit, right? So widen out your base because then you don't have to, if your base is wide, right, it makes it much easier, or not super wide, but wider than this. It makes it much easier to take small, choppy 6-inch steps, right, instead of these big, wide steps. And then also, you don't have as much space to spread your feet if your base is wider, right? When you have this narrow base, it just gets you into false stepping outside of your frame and all that stuff. Don't have a problem with the two-hand jam on this one because he's getting the hard inside speed release, so your hips are going to declare anyways. So he stays on it, stays attached, gets over it, makes a play on the ball. We got him here. Switches over to this receiver. All right, run play. So crack, replace, really good job recognizing it, replacing. I think he has good eyes for this, similar to Darian Porter. He doesn't stay attached onto these receivers. He can read their momentum and tell that they're going out there to block and not run routes. So really good crack, replace rep. Get in there and help out in the run game. So be able to see it from this angle as well. Really good job. Seeing it, okay. Now we go right tight off the crack block. Get in here. Help out. Good job. All right, so now we got him bottom of the screen. All right. To see how narrow his base is. And to start, it's good. All right, small step. A little small read step. But the base is just super narrow. So now he's got to widen his feet before he skates steps, right? I just would like to see him play with a little bit better base. But he gets in here and makes a tackle. Off again, crack block, get in, make the tackle. Good job. All right, so, all right, run play again. Another crack replace. So you're noticing they're running the ball in his direction a lot. And it's because of this. You see a lot of this on tape, missed tackles. Okay, so we've seen some good ones so far, but now we're going to start to see the missed tackles in space. All right. Luckily, really good pursuit from the backside. Okay, and to be fair, he misses a tackle. Usually, when you miss these kind of tackles, you want to miss to the outside, so it goes back inside to the pursuit. But at least he holds up the runner and makes him go backwards, right? So he has to go on kind of like a U-shaped angle to get out. That allows the pursuit to get there. But we just want to make those tackles, man. And if we miss, we want to miss outside so it goes back inside. All right, so now we're going to see something really impressive here, all right? Ability showcase here. So speed turn. This is one of the fastest speed turns we've seen on the channel ever, right? 0.267. Really impressive speed turn, especially for a big guy like this. Really, really good. Really good movement skills. I wish that he had done some of this stuff at the combine so we would have been able to see, because the stuff on tape looks pretty good, and you'll see over the court, like, you're going to see some really impressive things here. Again, don't love it. Narrow base. Wide feet now. Two-hand jam. Right? So doesn't hurt him because it's not a, it's not a pass play, but again, it just needs to be cleaned up. Then on the stock block here, right? So what he's got to do here is he's got to get outside, right? Get back outside and squeeze this block down. So now he steps inside. The runner goes behind him. Don't want to ever turn your back. So he does it twice. Turn your back to a blocker. Just not good. Not a very clean, smooth rep. So be able to see it from this angle as well. All right. Don't want to turn your back to blockers like this. Does it twice. Just needs to be a little smoother. All right, so this one, I believe this one is going to be one of the really good ones here. So, boom, fastest break that we've seen in draft season. Impressive stuff here, down in 0.2 seconds. He can move, man. This guy can definitely move. Lot of raw talent, raw ability on him. It feels like he's kind of just out here just being an athlete from time to time. If he can get some refinement to his game, watch out. All right, we got him up at the top of the screen. And so now he's using, so typically he uses, bump and run technique. He's using mirror match, so he's backing off a little bit. Really good, like this, hands on, but don't grab, right? Don't grab, just be forceful, hit the armpit or the shoulder pad with two hands here, right here, strike. You're in a perfect position to strike. He loves the two-hand jam. This is a time you can do it, right? Knock him inside. Don't grab and hook him, because in the NFL, that is going to be an illegal contact for sure. All right, so this one, I think he was trying to use a quick jam here, not necessarily full-on choke technique, but I think he wanted to force the outside release, so he jumps hard inside, and the receiver is already going outside, so it kind of just like messes up his timing there. And lucky for him, though, it's a short route, it's a quick game route. Would have been hard to cover this over the top if he was getting vertical. But good job getting in here, striking with that opposite hand, then being physical and forceful on the tackle. Love it. Good job. All right, now we got him down here, bottom of the screen. Again, much better, right? Quiet feet. Right? Quiet feet. Gets the jam on. One hand. Ride him up the field. This is the type of stuff that when you watch it, you go, man, this guy can really play. If he can get a good DB coach to work with him, I think that there's really something there as a press man corner. All right, wrong hand jam here. All right, you want to jam with the other hand. Wrong hand jam. But now we're seeing it's run out on the perimeter. And this is a tough one. Tries to tackle him. Misses tackle, right? So, gotta have it situation. I believe this is the last play of the game. Again, another situation where gotta have it play. They need to get the ball back. They're down. So what does the offense do? They decide to try to ice the game and end it by going at him in the run game. Just tough. Tough. 2 games where the offense chooses to attack him. And it ends the game. All right, so we'll be able to see it from tight angle here. So you can see here, crack, replace, space. We saw this with Darian Porter. Darian Porter's making these tackles. Got to get the guy on the ground. Big first down to ice the game. But I want to end it on a high note, okay? I know that this was a really up and down eval. Want to end it on a high note, always trying to give these guys the ability showcase. So now we're going to give him the ability showcase here. He's down at the bottom of the screen. Crack, replace again. Gets downhill, good job really trying to squeeze this this thing. So if it bounces to the outside, there's no daylight, but it goes up the middle and through. He's behind, and he even has to dodge his own teammate, but still sprints and gets up past 20 miles an hour. Really impressive rep there from Azareye'h Thomas. Ability showcase. The dude can run. Wish he ran at the combine. Hopefully we'll get to see some pretty good numbers at his pro day. So that's it for this one. Azareye'h Thomas, really up and down prospect. Could make my top 5 potentially. He's got all the talent in the world to be able to do it. Just need a little bit more refinement to be able to, be in that class a corner. So we'll continue to break down the class, and you're going to want to come back for more breakdowns. So as always, you know what it is. Coach Williams, Ball Hawks, we fly. I'm out. Peace.